Welcome to the LUMR Podcast, that is London Underground Music Review. We are now audible and visual. Thanks for tuning in. This week on the pod, we have the Ophelias from Cincinnati, Ohio. They make, in their own words, art rock, nature punk moth music, which I love, and recently put out their EP For Luck in the end of August. Thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Would you like to go around and introduce yourselves by name and like what your role in the band is?
Sure, yeah. I'm Spencer. I play guitar and I sing and I write the songs or like the lyrics.
I'm Joe. I play bass and I help make the videos with Spencer and stuff.
Joe directed all of the videos for our last album, almost.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And I'm Mick. I play drums.
And we're just missing Andrea.
Andrea, yes.
And she's Andrea, and she's the violinist.
Yes.
Yeah.
And keyboardist and MIDI person. She can basically play whatever you give her, but she's our violinist, yes.
She wears many hats.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did the band form? Like, did you guys know each other beforehand? What was the decision like to come together and start making music?
Andrea and Mick were playing together in some bands in Cincinnati, and I kind of met them through mutual friends, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna hop in, like, you guys want to come play with me? And like, I don't know what your decision process was like, but I felt like I had stumbled on some gems.
Yeah, we just met through mutual friends. Not all of us went to the same high school, so yeah, just met through like extracurricular activities mostly.
And then Joe actually joined the band last June.
So I grew up in Wisconsin, so I was just like fucking around while they were starting the band.
But Joe and I met in college, and then they've been playing with us. You joined our first tour March of 2019, so It's been a while.
My third show was playing South by Southwest, which was like horrible, but
it's nerve-wracking.
Yeah,
but you did a great job.
Yeah.
I just didn't move. I was like completely still.
What a way to start out, though, at South by Southwest. That's wild. So was there anything different about the process for making the For Luck EP in comparison to some of your other projects?
Yeah, I mean, it was all done in quarantine, and we live in different states. Joe and I live in New York, and Mick and Andrea live in Cincinnati. And we did it all in our homes, or like, Mick, where did you record drums? In like
I recorded at Andrew's mom's massage studio.
His mom's a chiropractor.
Yeah.
He was
she let him have a room in the back to keep his drums and stuff, and he knows what he's doing. So figured it would be better than me with my one mic trying to record drums.
But we all just like did it on our own, and then our friend John, who is wonderful. He's an engineer and producer, and mixer and masterer and all of that. But he kind of took all of our tracks that we recorded separately and then assembled them into one song, and then mixed it and mastered it and all of that.
Nice.
So it was very different. We weren't in the same room for any of it except
that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
I remember, Mick, you sent us like one drum part, and I was like, I'm so sorry, could we try a different drum part? And it meant like having to go back and like set up another time to work with Andrew, and like it's very different than working when you're all in the same room, because you can be like, oh, could you change that? And then instant gratification, you try something else versus like 3-day turnaround or whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is only the second project that I've like interviewed someone about where they made it in lockdown, and it's like a completely different process, and just it's sort of like being an online band, like you have to learn how to function like through technology, and I don't know, it's interesting.
I've been joking that quarantine makes content creators of us all. Like,
Yeah.
you have to be like a social media band if you can't tour.
Yeah.
And I will be honest, I'm
kind of a bummer.
Yeah, like I enjoy social media, but I don't feel like that's our main like appeal, I guess. Like our social media presence isn't like our thing. I don't know, but yeah, technology is weird, and trying to do everything in quarantine is very strange.
Definitely, yeah. Through this time, I feel like a lot of bands are having to kind of do that. They're having to, like, if they don't have a social media presence, create one and like figure out what that means for them. And it's a totally different world for a lot of people. And I don't know, it's tough. I'm hoping that live music can come back pretty soon, because I just feel like there's so many bands out there that's like their bread and butter. That's what they thrive off of.
I mean, I hope that when it does open, it is 100% safe, because we should not open until things are completely, safe.
I totally agree. Yeah.
Freaks me out when people are like, we're having a show right now. And I'm like,
no.
No.
It's weird. How did you all get into music individually? Do you remember like what first got you into it?
Go on.
For me, it was Rock Band, the video game. I started playing the drums on Rock Band, and I was like, I really like this. And then I just started doing it more. And then my parents were like, we should get him a drum set. So yeah, video game.
Yeah, I started playing classical guitar, and I kind of like didn't think. I feel like nobody really, or very few people set out to be like a bass player. Maybe that's no disrespect to the other bass players, but like, I'm like, I love it. But I for a long time, I just like didn't know anyone who played drums or anything. So I just played classical guitar because I was like a nerdy 12-year-old, and like,
you were really good though.
What you did if you,
That's
okay,
cool.
you can't also, they played electric guitar, and there are some prime videos of like
I was in
sixth grade Joe like shredding.
I was in a band called Sugar Rush, and we played My Generation. Yeah, look up Sugar Rush My Generation.
Oh my god,
I'm gonna plug it for everybody.
I will.
They do like a behind the head guitar solo as like a small
big.
It's really good.
Yep. Yeah.
Truthfully, I was like a theater child, like a musical theater child. So I kind of got started being like, I'm gonna sing and do jazz hands, and then was kind of like, no, I don't think that's for me. I did opera for a long time. I thought that's where my life was going for a minute, and then I was like, nope, I can't do that. I cannot do that. And I was lucky enough in high school to meet people who did have bands and who were writing and creating music, and I was like, oh, I want to try that. And I got a ukulele, which was really on the nose for like little indie girls in like 2013 or whatever it was.
Peak new girl.
Yeah, like polka dot dresses, ukulele, bangs. That was kind of where I started. And then I remember my dad let me borrow his electric guitar, and I was like, oh my god, it's so loud, I love it. And now I play electric guitar. So
cool. Do any of you remember one of the first albums that you bought, or first like live performance you went to go see?
Oh yeah, the first CD I ever bought, this is a vivid memory from Shake It Records in Cincinnati, was I think it was Brand New Eyes by Paramore.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, I figured
it was the best moment. And I remember my grandparents being like, Oh, he's starting to listen to teenager music. I was like 12 or something. I don't know what I listened to before that, like Maroon 5. But yeah, this was a little more angsty, I think.
Did your mom also play Maroon 5 in the car?
Yeah, my parents, or my dad specifically, loves Maroon 5.
I remember being in the minivan and my mom would play She Will Be Loved. And I was like,
Yeah,
yes.
Mom loved that one. Loved that one.
I actually don't remember what my first CD was. But I went to Ali and AJ for my first concert, and that ripped.
You did?
I did.
I didn't know that. That's amazing. We gotta talk about that.
It was at, what's it called? River, what is it called in Cincinnati? The Pavilion?
Riverbend, yeah.
Riverbend, yeah. It was at the small stage in Riverbend, and my mom got really annoyed with them by the end because they kept complaining how hot it was.
Oh, man.
But I thought they were amazing, so 10 out of 10.
My first like pop album was whatever I think it was Ella Funk by the Black Eyed Peas. Because there was like a period in like 4th grade where like at my school kids were obsessed with this one breakdancing move called the coffee grinder. So I just have a vivid memory of trying to learn how to do the coffee grinder to Where Is the Love. Beautiful. But if I had to pick,
Can you do what's the coffee grinder?
It's like you put your feet out and you like spin your legs around. You've definitely seen it at like middle school.
I can visualize it, yeah.
Yeah.
But to where is that?
Yeah. Where is? Well, I couldn't do it very fast, so I picked a slow song, I guess.
I love you.
I love you.
Oh my God.
American Idiot would be my like real like album I still stand by today.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
Do any of you have like musical role models for how you play individually or how you would like the Ophelias to sound as a whole?
You guys want to go? I keep going first.
No, you can go. I'm still thinking.
Oh, I think, I don't know if this is true for how I want the Ophelias to sound, because I feel like Spencer does a good job of laying out the intention and like the vibe of the song. So it's kind of like once that's there, it's just a matter of finding something that's complementary but also interesting to go with it. And I think for me, I'm kind of a little bit more like, I think I'm a little heavier handed with my playing. So I tend to enjoy drummers who play that way. Just really like clean and kind of like hip hop R&B kind of drumming, which is not really the kind of music we make, but that's the kind of drumming I'm gravitated towards. I can't really think of like exact examples right now.
That's okay.
I remember we were talking about Max Roach like a while ago, or maybe you were talking to my dad about him.
Probably.
That does.
Chatting with
Which
dads.
is like melodic drumming, sort of what you were saying.
Yeah, definitely that too. I like drummers who play with a sensibility of different movements, and like you know, it's not like one shade the entire song.
Yeah,
I feel like you're good at that. Definitely are able to like morph with the song. It's never like one thing all the way through, even if it's the same part.
Yeah, thanks.
I feel like it's funny because since I like didn't write the first like batch or work on those, I feel like in some ways I like have the previous bass players sort of playing in mind now, more like at the beginning. But when I was kind of like thinking like, okay, well, how would she approach this? Obviously, I'm not trying to like do exactly what she would do, but like just like there's certain kind of like hand positions or movements that like after having like learned all the parts, I was like, oh yeah, that kind of feels like I don't know. So it felt like I definitely, especially stepping in late, I feel like I tend to approach each song more as just trying to kind of, fit in and stuff rather than like finding like a touchstone and like, you know, like, oh, this, you know what I mean?
I will say that, like, so Joe had to step in for parts pretty immediately before we recorded last June, and they wrote like 15 bass parts in like 10 days or something. And I think you really are able to find exactly where you fit very quickly and with a lot of artistry and finesse and creativity. Like, and I feel like because you are, or you were originally a guitar player, you kind of find like, it's the melody thing. Like, I feel like one thing is every part is melodic.
Yeah.
In a way that
Totally.
Isn't necessarily standard.
Yeah, like Grace's bass parts tended to be like a lot higher up. I think that was, so it totally does like fit with the guitar. Like I feel like a low note is very intentional in a way where like, you know, with like a punk band, like the bass would like kind of live down on like the bottom part.
Yeah, I think we all kind of write our own little like parts as like little hooks or like motifs. Like you have like a little counter melody going on with the bass, and Andrea will go back to like the same like motifs or little like runs that she does, and the same with the drums. Like I try to create like rhythmic motifs in the song. I think like the most prominent example of that's probably like Night Signs. So yeah, I think I'll just try to write catchy parts, and so it's just like 4 like hooks going on at the same time.
Hit him with the hook.
Yeah.
Isn't that the goal? I think, yeah, we all listen to a lot of different types of music, so I don't know if there's any one artist that we're like, yes, we want the Ophelias to sound like this, because I think part of what makes it fun is like we all listen to a ton of different stuff. But I don't know, I think my favorite artist of all time is Joanna Newsom, and she does not play guitar, but I think I have and will continue to get a lot of inspiration from how she approaches rhythm, even if I don't do, you know, she does a ton of polyrhythms and things that I don't do, but I definitely feel influenced by it.
Nice. Great choice. She's wonderful. So you guys have kind of played all over. Do you have a favorite place that you've done a live show so far? Any, like a city or a venue?
We didn't actually play there. We were supposed to, but the show fell through. Taos, New Mexico. We stayed there and we were supposed to play, and then the back half of the building was like the place where the people who were putting on the show lived, but they had like spaces for artists to come stay with them when they were passing through. And it was just like, it kind of felt like we had stepped into a portal or something, because it was like all mountains and like desert kind of, and you know, there was nothing around. It was a super small town, and we arrived there and it's, you know, in the middle of nowhere. You lose cell service, and it's just this like beautiful space. And they're like, yeah, here's a shower, we have baskets of shampoo that you can use, like, because we know that you don't have any because you've been touring for however long. Like, here's a gigantic bed, you can eat whatever we have, drink whatever we have. And it was very just like kind of wild to stumble on something so like giving and like community oriented after we had just left what's it called, Austin, and we were very much exhausted after our time at South by, and we kind of got to recharge for a night in this incredibly beautiful place and hiked down to the hot springs and like all this stuff.
Wow.
That was my favorite
Wonderful
spot. I think playing wise, I really like Portland, Oregon. We've had good shows there. I enjoyed that.
I like that we played in Seattle. Do you remember that little like bookstore?
Yeah.
That was cool. everybody was really nice.
Whenever we play at bookstores, it's always fun.
Yeah, the bookstore basement and like
Yeah,
with Leggy, that was amazing.
that was
yeah.
fun. There was a spot. What was it called? Small World Books. I
Yeah,
think?
exactly. Yeah.
New York State. It was really, really fun.
Yeah, that was
Basement show.
Boise was nice.
Oh,
Weirdly nice.
yeah.
Boise.
What was that? Oh, the Even Stevens, which is
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
played Freeport Festival there, and it was so beautiful.
Yeah.
Talk about
It was
mountains.
very calm, which was nice.
yeah.
Is there anywhere that you would love to go but you haven't been yet?
Maine.
I want to go abroad. I want to go. I mean, whether like when it's pandemic permitting, you know.
Mhm.
I don't know how you say that, but yeah, we haven't done that. I don't even think we've gone to like Canada or anything.
We were
So
supposed to.
Yeah, like literally, like right when it was all coming.
March 15th, we were supposed to leave on, I think, the 16th or 17th for tour. And I remember March 15th was the day that it
Yeah.
shut down. And
Yeah.
we were like, okay, all
Yeah.
right,
Great.
cool.
Yeah.
Canada would be cool. I've interviewed like 2 bands from Canada, one from British Columbia, one from Montreal, it's like opposite sides, but they're all really nice and some good music scenes going on up there.
You've played there,
Yeah.
right? With Sweet Pablo?
yeah, I did. We played in a few different provinces. I really like Kitchener. We played at this like art gallery bookshop, again a bookshop. And it was really nice. We met this band, they're called Eddie Evie, and they're like right outside of Kitchener. I don't know what part they're actually from, but yeah, they were really cool. And they alluded to like a big scene going on in the city, and they were really nice. So I can only imagine.
Have you guys had anything like crazy or weird happen at one of your shows yet?
Undoubtedly, yes. One time, I mean, nothing
Dude.
like,
Bob Boylan.
oh my God. Oh, yeah, I met Bob Boylan and was like, hello. Hello. That was just cool. But I think the weirdest was when we were on tour. I think we were in either LA or San Francisco. And after a show, after we finished, a really like old guy came over to the merch table, which automatically I'm like, hello. But he was really drunk and he just took his hand and he grabbed my head like this and like wouldn't let go of my head.
Oh,
I was like,
Yeah.
sir, like, let go of my head. And I don't know what he was doing. It felt like he was trying to like get the information out. It's like, what do you want? But his wife came over and was like, come on, like let's go. And I was like, okay.
yeah.
But, you know, nothing like insane, nothing, thankfully, nothing so over the top that it immediately comes to mind.
Do any of you ever deal with like anxiety or stage fright when it comes to performing in front of live audiences?
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I know we all have anxiety around here, just in general. So I think when you have that and then you go on stage and you're like,
Everybody's looking at me.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
I bass though, because no one's looking at you.
I like drums because I'm hiding behind like a fort of like arsenal of drums.
you got stuff
yeah.
to hit.
For me, I feel good like once we're playing, I'm like good to
Yeah.
go. But all the time beforehand, like Once we get to the venue and we have like 2 or 3 hours before.
That's the worst.
Worst.
That's the worst period of time.
Like in between sound check and playing, the worst.
Yeah, and then after is great. During is great.
See,
During's great. Yeah. And then after, I'm like, what did I do?
Yeah.
the 10 minutes before we play, for me, that's the time when I am the most anxious. And then like the first song, because like we're still opening for people. Like we're not, people aren't necessarily coming to see us at every show that we play. So it's always like, oh my God, I gotta tell people like who we are, what we're doing, and like prove that they made a good choice, like coming early to see us play before whatever band we're playing with,
There's a
in
weird
those situations
of being like, ooh, like, are there people who are gonna just be like, oh, these people suck? Because like I feel like I don't do that a lot, but I've definitely been at a show and been like, oh. So there's that part of you that's like, oh, and like I know that's, of course that's happened and like whatever, but the anxious part of my brain.
Yeah, having to sort of prove yourself each time to a new audience.
Yeah, I wonder if people who are like way more established have that same feeling or not. Because I know for
I
me,
think
it's
they do.
Oh.
Yeah.
I ask that question every time because I deal with anxiety and like it baffles me what you all do. And I like to ask it of everybody that I interview just because I'm really interested to know. Because from the outside, I may have like sort of a view of the band that I'm interviewing, and like I just think like, oh my gosh, how could they ever feel like insecure or anxious about performing? Like they're so great, but then the performer's view is just, it's different. And it's, I don't know, it's interesting to hear that side of it from the point of view of a fan, of just a listener.
I mean, the nice thing is like, if you listen to any song that I've written, you can probably tell that I'm an anxious person.
Yeah,
just like by
we're
nature.
not hiding behind bravado.
No, I'm not trying to be like, I am so confident, I'm so cool. All of my songs are like, I am, oh my God. So like,
I'm trying.
I'm freaking trying. So like, and on some level, it's comforting knowing like nobody really expects me to be like this, whatever, hyper confident like person, just because like I do feel like our music is pretty like, all right, you know what you're getting into. You know what you're here to see.
Okay, so we'll just do a quick
Who doesn't?
quick game of most likely to. I'm just going to go down this list and just kind of, we'll go around and see who you think in the band is like most likely to do that particular thing.
I'm gonna keep track of how many I get.
Okay, yeah, if you want to keep track. Most likely to get asked for directions by a stranger. Has that ever happened to any of you?
Andrea.
I think so.
I was gonna say Nick.
Oh.
We all think
You would probably give the best directions, but you just have that look of competence. Nick.
Andrea's so good with directions though.
That's true.
Like she's like a token like direction like queen.
Yeah, I feel like people would ask you and you would give them the wrong direction.
You'd be like, oh, talk to them.
Yeah.
That's me. I get asked and I never know what to tell people. I have to Google map it.
Sometimes I give the wrong directions if someone, because we live in New York, so like you'll find it eventually. But if someone's like, hey, do you, and I don't, I'll just be like, yeah, you're good.
I live in London right now and I don't know it like super well, and I got asked for directions once and I gave this lady directions like thinking that I was giving the right ones, but then I quick just to check Google mapped it and I ended up pointing her in the opposite direction of where she needed to go. So I literally went and followed her. I was like, hey, actually I was wrong, it's the other way, because I was like, I can't let her walk like 10 blocks like that in the wrong direction.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, that's
so nice.
Okay, who's most likely to like fight for what they believe in, who gets very passionate about their interests?
I feel like all of us.
Spencer. You, because you're a stubborn Virgo.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's true. I feel like, yeah, we all get pretty passionate about stuff. That's partially why we're all friends. But yeah, I don't think there's one person more than anyone else.
Different specialties, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like I will like political JFK assassination stuff. That's like it's like becoming a trope, whatever. But like
I was obsessed with the JFK assassination.
I am interested in them. 3D modeling also is another interest of mine.
Oh my god.
But boring stuff that no one wants to listen to, I'll be like, hey, listen, sit down, let's talk about it.
Yeah. Okay. Most likely to not look at their phone for 24 hours.
Andrea.
Yeah, Andrea. Andrea or Joe?
Really? I was gonna say you.
Yeah.
Most likely to go skydiving.
Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, me.
Most likely to wear like a bold fashion statement.
Me.
That's it.
Yeah.
Or Mick, but different vibe.
Yeah.
It would be
Like
both.
Crocs versus a high.
Yeah, Crocs versus like corset.
Yeah.
Bold more.
Yeah. Say that again.
Crocs aren't even bold anymore, man. Justin Bieber has a line of Crocs.
But you were in there at the beginning.
Yeah, you've been a Croc fan.
Also, they're better than regular Crocs. They're like chef's Crocs, right?
Yeah, bistro clogs. Mm-hmm.
Bistro Crocs. Is that a thing?
Are they actually called bistro?
That's amazing. Okay, most likely to be ready with the perfect meme or GIF response.
Spencer.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Okay. Back to regular questions. We've only got a couple minutes left, so I wanted to ask, you guys have a fantastic Joni Mitchell cover on this EP, the Both Sides Now. Do you have a favorite, do any of you have a favorite cover that you've heard someone do?
Ooh, that's a good question.
The Patti Smith cover of Smells Like Teen Spirit, I feel like is the what leaps to mind.
Totally. So good.
I haven't heard that. I'll have to look that up.
So good.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's like slower and it's just like
Slow burn.
yeah, to me it's kind of like or a just awesome example of like recontextualizing a song, you know, and
Mhm.
really feels different, but it's still got that thing that made the original.
I think Pom Pom Squad covering Cellophane by FKA Twigs.
Yeah.
So good.
I like Girl Pool's cover of Radiator Hospital, Cut Your Bangs, a lot.
Absolutely.
Cover. I actually heard their version of that song first. And then like my partner showed me the Radiator Hospital song and I was like, oh, I thought that was their song.
Same, actually.
Yeah. But the harmonies on that are amazing. I love that cover.
Nice. Those all sound so good. I'm gonna look those up when we're done. Okay. With your music, is there anything you're trying to portray or communicate to your fans through your music?
I feel like it's
They started whispering about the JFK assassination. Honestly, I don't feel like there's one message at this point. I do feel like we've been lucky enough that or I have been lucky enough that the things that I write about when I am kind of processing and dealing with whatever emotions and anxieties and fears seem to have resonated with other people, which is wonderful. I don't think that I'm trying to push any one thing, but I'll let you know if that changes. I'll let you know. Maybe there's like I'll become an MLM person. Pyramid scheme will be like, it's not a scheme, it's an opportunity. Do you want to be your own boss?
Yeah, this is just a long game. We've got a great opportunity to talk to you about.
These are the funniest
I
thing
didn't think
ever.
about it like that. Yeah. Okay, so
Bye now.
you guys released the
$500
Four Lucky
down payment.
end of August. Is there anything else that you'd like to promote on here?
We have some cool things coming, but we cannot tell you anything about them.
That's okay. Cool.
So don't ask.
Okay, is there anything that I missed? We've got like
Thank you for such a fun
Yeah,
interview.
thank
This was
you.
lovely.
okay, good. Good. I just always like to make sure didn't miss anything.
No.
Thank you guys so much. This was really great. Thanks for
You're
being
so
on.
sweet. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. It was nice to meet you.
Bye.
Have a good one.
You too.
See you later.